Hey, so a lot of people are trying to get out of body and they also have blocks. Like they work really hard and seem to get nowhere, or they have hard time visualizing, or some people actually just have problems with their energy and different things. So with these things, I usually try to give sessions and help people with what they're dealing with, like trying to find the issues. And the current one, like after this session, I found a structure or like a thing that actually touches up not just one being, but let's say whole humanity. So I just wanted to bring it to your awareness. I'm not very clear. Like I'm not gonna give you a speech or like be like, hey, this is this, and that's how it goes. It's more like I just found it out. Like, whoa, how do I still have to digest it and think about how to give it back to you? But I just like sort of like out of the blue, I'm just gonna tell you all about it. So there it is. It's kind of like we're here on Earth. Like a lot of people all around the world is basically just like trying to get out of body or have some difficulties with it, and we're looking for what keeps us blocked. So in this session, I found these structures out there in space around Earth. They're pretty close. It's the whole structure has certain levels. Like the first level is around Earth and it's pretty tight. It's kind of like we're talking about grid and like how to get out of here, right? So as the whole structure is sort of built by draconians, but the worst part is that humans are responsible for it. We look at the elite or our government and like they're like sort of like they're somewhere in this whole pyramid and stuff. But still they're mere puppets, and there are people in the shadows that we don't even know about. There are those that in secret space program and they're involved in a lot of projects, and one of them is humans, those that working for the dark side. They are making a deal with other ETs that humans will help other ETs to stop people on Earth from getting out of body. And so they're creating these structures. It's pretty much like similar to satellites. It's not too big, small enough. We're talking about size, but like more like size of the satellite. And they're all over the space. They kind of like more than 10 of them at least, and they're constantly beaming this like signal, like this like whole frequency vibration. It's like this it's kind of like a wi-fi, it's like it's constantly being beamed and the same thing, but at the same time it's like they're forcing or like forming this sort of construct and keeping us in this kind of like a box. So first level and like the strongest one is around Earth, where everything's super tight. So it's kind of like it has a sort of like, let's say, gravitational magnetic thing where astral body is being pulled to the physical body. It's like there is an anchor constantly keeping us down, pulling us and being like having us stuck here. So that's like first thing, like we're trying to get out, and like our body is like there's this massive magnetic energy pulling our like our astral body, and it keeps us stuck in the physical one. So there's that. There's also aspects where they're affecting us throughout the day, where our like frequency drops, and like for example, you might be doing great, you might be productive, you might like one day you're doing really good, but the signal, it doesn't affect everyone right away, but more like it has a standards of like how much do you have to reach to get at their limits and become targeted. And so some people, let's say, they are careless, they have their own stuff in life and they're really enjoying, they might be, let's say, either into like alcohol or going through some stuff where they don't really care about what's up and they don't really care. And so like every day they're like hitting this level where they might be grumpy or like, it's like, like nothing's changing, and they're trying to do something but not too much, and they're stuck at that level. Well, they're not going to reach this one. So there are people who go through a lot, but at the same time every day they're working really hard, and like no matter like what you eat and stuff or like how you're doing like on the physical level, there are parts where like let's say you're getting close to reaching a goal, you're creative, you're passionate, one day you're doing really good. Next thing that happens is next day or sometime soon after you reach this point is going to be like paradigm crash, where you reach this point and they're going to crash you down with next day you lose the interest, you're completely like, you're like you don't want to do absolutely anything, you feel kind of like maybe barf or like blah, I don't want anything, it's like everything sucks, everything you've tried ever is like now not a thing, so no interest, kind of like boredom, not wanting to do anything, so that becomes a thing. And what happens, like, it's not just like keeping us stuck to the physical body, but also affecting how we feel throughout the day, how we're like reacting emotionally and stuff. So like they're really throwing us off, and at the same time it's kind of like not just like our emotions, but like the way we think. It was like they're able to like sort of like amplify our mind. So if people have this chatter throughout the day, it becomes even amplified and you think even more. And then they have abilities to redirect your attention. So if you have, like, oh, I'm going to do this today, and boom, now all of a sudden you have a different goal, something else you want to do. And like all of a sudden, like standards change and you've spent a few days like, not interested in anything, don't want to do anything, like kind of like black thing. So there's that. There's also affecting us with our actions and stuff, basically just blocking us, keeping us stuck in every possible way. And it's pretty harsh. And then like we look at this like whole like astral thing and this whole kind of like box constantly radiating and making sure we don't escape like from Earth. And it's humans selling us out, humans making sure like we're sort of like stuck in this construct. Because if you have heard about the intergalactic trading and how humans sell off people, because we're like basically a cattle, we're like a merchandise, we're like a product. And gold, blood, plasma, different sort of things, labor, they just take us and put us out there, sort of like this thing is big. And so this whole thing with like humans are making deals with other ETs, and basically the best thing they can offer is to trap the genie. We are the genies, we're the godlike beings, and what they're doing is making sure like the like other ETs will know that like, okay, we put the genie in a bottle, it's now stuck, and you can't get out. And basically they're making sure like like humans and other races are making technologies together to sort of like signal us and beam us and like constantly keep us trapped so that we wouldn't get out. Turning off our visuals. Some people are trying to visualize and like can't see anything, because if you can visualize, you don't even have to try to get out of body, because you can start creating things out there like simply enough, and if you see their structures you can destroy it like just like that. So some people might get an image and you'll have full access. It's as if you get out of body, and that is very dangerous. So a lot of people lose their visual abilities. This whole mind thing gets amplified all over the place, nonstop thinking, our actions and stuff. Basically, the whole day we're like, I don't want to do anything. We lose our interest, and eventually we end up being redirected and stop doing anything we were on track on. So these people get targeted a lot, and like if you are one of those that like think like, hey, I'm really trying to get out of body, but I'm sort of like stuck and experiencing some of these symptoms, so to speak. One of the best things to do, like I did myself, for example, like seeing this whole structure and all the like these satellites, I destroyed them. I did like sort of like took care of the groups who were responsible. But if you notice similar things on your end, like I might have like sort of destroyed it in my timeline. So like my experience changes for myself and some for people here in my world. But on your world, if you are experiencing some of it yourself, what you have to do is like simply, okay, so really explain this concept to me. I might not see it, I might not have the perfect understanding, but let's say there are these satellite structures out there in space who are constantly beaming us and trying to keep us stuck with the physical body. You think of that structure out there beaming you and simply think of the structure exploding. That is enough. You are godlike being and your thoughts have massive power, which is why they're trying to like try to beam us or like sort of program us with all negative thinking. But if you can be in control and redirect your attention and use it, then you can actually destroy it. So basically, even if you have the visuals or like perfect understanding of what I'm saying, simply think of a concept that there are structures out there constantly beaming humanity, beaming the world, and trying to keep us stuck here, like trying to have your like astral body stuck to the physical and sort of like destroying these structures. If you can simply just imagining them out of the picture, will actually be beneficial. So like that's something you can try, and if you want to, I just thought I'll bring it to your awareness. But like it's really interesting because like a lot of people have issues with getting out of body, and we're looking for ways on how to help them. And so like this is like finally one of the first sessions where it's not just one person that is going to get the help, but like a lot of people that might go through it. And like doesn't mean that everyone right now will be able to get out right away, but it's a step forward where we see what kind of blocks are out there and working in the big picture, like on a lot of people at the same time. So yeah, I'm bringing it to your awareness. If you think you might be experiencing this stuff, try to take care of it with your with either like visuals, imagination, or simply thoughts. But you can simply think of those structures like being destroyed and stuff, and that will help. um if you have ever experienced either any of the symptoms of being stuck to the body or different things like no visuals, or if you've ever gone out of body, if you ever did astral projection or like seen those structures yourself, please share, because once we know a lot of their methods on how they're trying to stop us, we can fight the big war. And finally the gods can like, or the genies can get out of the bottle and be free and do whatever they want. So that would be where we're going. So that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for now. Hopefully it's going to be useful for you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.